Hey there, welcome to SharkCast, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sharks. My name is Sam Shinazzi. I'm an OG from 2015. This is our 11th season of podcasting, and whether you're tuning in for the first time via the official Cronulla Sharks feeds or platforms, or whether you're one of our regulars at SharkCast Pod, we appreciate it very much. This is the NRLW Season 25 kickoff episode. We're going to be here regularly talking about the team, talking to the team, the officials, analysis. We're going to do it all. So stick with us. SharkCast Pod taking over the NRLW with the Cronulla Sharks. And we've got a lot to look forward to, and it starts on Thursday night at Shark Stadium, the greatest place on earth. If you don't have a ticket, grab a ticket from Ticketek. 7:45 kickoff. Cronulla Sharks NRLW versus the Parramatta Eels. Gates open at 5:15, however, because prior to the NRLW is a Harvey Norman Women's Premiership game. The Cronulla Sharks against the Parramatta Eels. So two great women's games on Thursday night at Shark Stadium. If you can't be there, you can tune into the main game on Foxtel, KO, Channel 9, and various Channel 9 affiliated channels. So whether you are able to be there, whether you can't be there, get behind the mighty Cronulla Sharks. In this episode, you're going to hear from the barnstorming prop, Ellie Johnston. You're going to hear from the very talented, tough Talei Holmes, second rower. And you're going to hear from the head honcho, Tony Herman, the coach of the NRLW team. All three have got fantastic stories, and part of this process of releasing episodes about the NRLW is to get to know the people behind the team, what they go through, what they sacrifice, and how talented they all are at what they do. This is NRLW. We can't wait to get into it. Let's talk a little bit about the 2025 team. Coming off a very successful 2024, there are high expectations both from the fans and the media in regards to this team. They won their opening 6 games last year. They beat the Cowboys, the Eels, the Raiders, the Knights, the Dragons, and the Titans. Then they suffered their first loss of the year against the Roosters, going on to lose to Brisbane and West Tigers before winning in the semi-final against Brisbane up north in Queensland, allowing them to proceed to the grand final, losing an absolute cliffhanger roller coaster of the grand final, 32-28. And you'll hear about that in all 3 interviews today. Coming off that, we can expect another successful season for the NRLW team, although as coach Tony Herman says, it is a new year, new beginnings. Some of the new players for the Sharks this season are Ellie Johnston Green, although we know she won't be available to play for most of the season, if not all. Shante Kiraratu joins from the Titans, Jacinta Carter from the Knights, Jadika Tafua is in the development squad, and Tyler King has joined from the Dragons. Now, there are some losses from last year. We have lost some very talented players, quite a number of them, given that there's new clubs coming into the NRLW this year. We've lost Andy Robinson to the Bulldogs, Chloe Saunders to the Raiders, Holly Wheeler to the Bulldogs, Taylor Preston to the Bulldogs, Tegan Dimmock to the Bulldogs. We've lost Pia Tapsell to the Dragons, and also Shani Smiley, Stephanie Faulkner, and Tia Jordan Vasilosvi. There are some losses, but the gains this year are pretty good, and the squad overall is still stacked, in my opinion, absolutely stacked. In their one trial this year, the Sharks had a draw with the Roosters down at Shark Stadium. No conversions were had that day, a choice by both teams scoring 3 tries each. The Sharks were actually down 3-0 and found their way back. There were a number of major stars not playing in the game, and of course we've had a bunch of players representing in the State of Origin series only a few months ago, which New South Wales won 2-1, but a number of representatives there from the Sharks. In breaking news about the NRLW Sharks, we can tell you that trailblazer Vanessa Foliaki has announced her immediate NRLW retirement. She was successful at the club, state, and international level. She's 31 years old and played 38 NRLW matches, including 20 for Cronulla. She also represented Australia, Tonga, and New South Wales. She had 4 NRLW Grand Final appearances, and last year she captained Tonga in the 2024 Pacific Championships. phenomenal back rower, and she is retiring, I guess, for personal reasons and more to do with, as she says, quote, "There was always going to be a point where my job outside of footy took priority. That's the main reason I've stepped away from the game. I couldn't commit 100% to the NRLW. In saying that, it's a decision I'm very content with. When I look back at my career, I'm at peace knowing I've done what I wanted to do in the game and achieved more than I could have ever asked for." She was a foundation player for the Sharks, and she will absolutely be missed from this team. I would imagine and hope she would hang around the squad enough throughout the year to provide more knowledge and experience and chat, enthusiasm and advice to the younger players in particular. So just looking at her stats, she played 38 NRLW games, debuted in 2018 Roosters v Warriors, debuted for the Sharks 2023 in that historic game, of course, and she played for the Blues, Australia, Tonga, and the Women's All-Stars. So Vanessa Foliaki, we take our SharkCast hat off to you. Congratulate you on an amazing career, and we wish you all the best for the future. Forever a Shark, Vanessa Foliaki. From one forward to another, Ellie Johnston, got to sit down with her and had a great, interesting, fun chat about all things, including her life and rugby league. You'll hear it coming up right now. Here is Ellie Johnston.
Trying to squeeze their way through. Johnston's done it! Magical ball control by Ellie Johnston.
Ellie Johnston, welcome to SharkCast Pod. How are you going?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for making the time. It's a huge week for the Sharks, NRLW. It's come round already. Are you girls just ready to go? Is it like Christmas Eve or something?
Yeah, we're super excited. It's obviously been a tough 6 weeks for us girls. And yeah, we're excited to, hit the ground running and hopefully start well.
Okay. I want to find out a bit about you. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a little town called Coomba Park.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, which is about 4 hours north of Sydney.
You debuted for the Dragons, who we don't like, in 2020. So how did you make your way there?
Yep. So I didn't grow up playing footy. I grew up playing netball, and I made the switch when I was about 18.
Okay.
And then locally back home, I stopped playing netball and I got picked up to play a 6-week rugby league comp. So I went and did that. I had no idea what I was doing. Eventually played that. And then I made the Mid-North Coast Bulldogs out of that. So they play in the New South Wales Country Championship comp.
Yeah.
So I played that. And then I knew if I wanted to play footy and pursue that dream, I had to move to Sydney. And that was in 2020.
Now, had you grown up watching the game?
I did. My dad's a mad rugby league fan, and he grew up playing footy as well. So,
okay.
I did watch it, but I didn't know much about it.
Did you have a team?
Yeah, for some reason I just loved watching the Rabbitohs. I just think, they just caught my eye, and I just followed them everywhere.
Doing research on you, you represented that team, correct?
Yep. So I moved to Sydney in 2020, and I played for Rabbitohs in the Harvey Norman Premiership.
Okay. How did you get to the Dragons? Were you scouted? Did you approach them? How does it work?
Yeah, so I kind of got scouted in the New South Wales Country Comp, and there was talks, around NRLW, and then played Harvey Norman, and at the start of that season, I got scouted I got picked up for the Dragons. Had
some success there. Played in the grand final.
No, we actually didn't do really well that year.
Really? My notes are wrong. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so there was only 4 teams and we came last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. How did you make it across the bridge to the right side of town, so to speak?
Yeah, so I was with Para in 2021 and 2022.
Grand final for Para.
Final for Para, that's the one.
Gotcha.
Also lost that grand
final.
Yes,
sorry about that.
I'm 2-0 at the moment with the grand finals. Hopefully third one's lucky. Hopefully we get that win. But
so what was your time like at Para?
Yeah, it was good. I loved it. It was a great experience. I played on the edge a lot in that team. I was a back rower, back end middle, and I loved playing on the edge. It was, fun running at a half. And then, Tony contacted me, and I knew Sharks was where I wanted to be. Just the environment, the community. And Tony is a coach, he's a great coach, and I saw that straight away. And he's taken my game to another level. So I'm very grateful I made the switch.
So how did you go from second row to prop? Was it much of a move? I know it's a couple of steps inside, but was it significant?
Well, I always knew I'd end up in the middle.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'd always knew I'd end up there, but I think it's a completely different position.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy being in the middle because I think that's where you work hard. Like you're always making all the runs, you're always tackling, your work never stops. And I love that. So that's why I love being in the middle.
And you can find a try still.
Yes, hopefully this year.
Or you have in the past couple of years at the Sharks.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you representing this great club? What does Cronulla mean to you?
Yeah, I love it. Like obviously, I've been here. I think this is my 3rd season now, and I love the area, and I love the community, the club. They do a lot of community-based stuff, and I love that. And just the girls, like our culture is like awesome. We are like such a tight-knit group, and that makes playing footy a lot easier when you've got people beside you that are gonna push for you, and they've got your back. So I think that's why I love it so much.
It does come across as a really tight unit. Tremendous success last year. We know we didn't go all the way. We're probably 2 minutes away from going all the way. I wanted to ask you about the season. We won 5 in a row and then 1 from 5 to finish. The 1 was a really great game up north in a finals game to get to the grand final. Can you pinpoint why we had that losing streak? Is it anything that comes to mind? Is there anything you do different as a team or an individual? Or
I'm not actually sure. I just think to win, you need to lose as well.
Gotcha.
I think we actually won 6 in a row.
Sorry. Boy, my numbers are off today.
I think it was 6 in a row. And I think if we were wanting to play finals footy, it's good going into finals footy with some losses. Obviously, we didn't want that to happen. But I can't exactly remember why. But, anything could have happened which caused that.
Now, I wanted to ask you what it's like being a role model for so many people of all ages and demographics, but specifically younger women who support the club and the game.
Yeah, look, it's so cool seeing the amount of girls playing footy now at, the age of, I guess, 5 and upwards. Obviously growing up, we didn't have that, role model of women playing footy, and now they have that, and now they have someone to look up to. And I just think it's incredible how far the game has gone. And I'm very grateful for the opportunities I've had.
Do you feel it though, as a member of the Sharks? Do you feel that responsibility?
Yeah, I do. I love it though. I love when there's young girls and boys out there yelling out your name, wanting to get a photo. I think it's really special. Yeah. For Origin as well, there was, we packed out the stadiums, which is so incredible to see. And again, all the fans wanting to get around a game. I think it's really special. We
didn't even touch on Origin. You won the series there 2-1, played in all 3 games, scored a try.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. A couple of questions before we let you go. A bit more of the fun variety. Not sure if you can help us out with this one or not. 2016, did you watch the grand final, the NRL grand final?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I can remember, but I know. Like,
you know who won?
I've heard about it. Yeah, Sharks won it. I know that.
I'm just kidding. Okay, we'll skip that question. Music. We love music on this podcast. What do you like? What are you into? Genres, bands? There's no wrong answer. What do you like?
I listen to everything. Country.
I need more.
R&B.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite artist at the moment or something you go to?
Yeah, for country, Luke Combs,
of course. Yeah. Favorite song of his?
Which one? There's heaps.
Okay.
There's heaps. I don't know. I love all his music.
What about pre-game? What do you listen to? Same kind of thing, or is there something like, do you listen to Metallica or something? Like, what's your
just a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bit of everything. I don't mind. I'm an open book.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time. Good luck on Thursday. Big game against the Eels, opening the season for the NRLW. That's pretty special.
Yeah.
And we'll see you down here at Shark Stadium.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. That was Ellie Johnston. Thanks so much to Ellie for her time, and hopefully she has a massive game and massive year coming up for the mighty NRLW Sharks. Up next, we're going to speak to one of our favourites, Talei Holmes, and she was kind enough to give us some time as well. I can tell you a little bit about Talei if you're not familiar with her, and she will catch you up in the interview as well. She debuted for the Dastardly Dragons NRLW team in 2020, playing 10 games there over 3 years. She played in the 2021 grand final, losing to the Roosters 16-4. She debuted for Cronulla in 2023. She's played 19 games over 2 seasons. She's yet to score an NRLW try, though she has scored one for Fiji. She's played 3 games for Fiji, and in 2022 also played in the City versus Country game. Absolute thrill to catch up with Talei Holmes, our very talented back rower. Here she comes.
Space on the left, Hanaway. And Brigginshaw, what a read again, but the offload will work. Penatani gets it down. It's going to require further inspection, but it's given a try.
Talei Holmes, welcome to SharkCast Pod. It's great to have you, one of our favourite players on the show. How are you going?
I'm good, thank you. Very excited to be on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You must be just bursting out of the seams for Thursday night.
So excited. It's been a long 8-week preseason, and I'm so excited to get out there on Thursday.
We want to know about you and growing up and everything about Talei Holmes. Where did you grow up? What area of the world?
Yeah, I grew up in the St. George area in Lugano.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I actually played for Penshurst RSL when I was young, and then Menai Roosters.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you spent time with the Dragons.
Yes.
Debuted there.
Yeah.
You know the rivalry here, obviously. What was it like at the Dragons, your time there? How was that?
It was really good. It was a very different experience, but I remember being really young and just learning a lot off all the leaders at Dragons. And yeah, but it was very different to Sharkies.
How did you end up here at the club? What was the journey?
So I played all my junior footy at the Sharks. I played Tarsha Gale and sort of filtered through the juniors up until NRLW. But yeah, before NRLW Sharks, they got a team, I went to the Dragons.
Yep.
And yes, I spent 3 seasons there. And then when Sharks got the team, came straight back.
I kind of messed up the Ellie interview getting the team wrong with the grand final, but I believe you played in the grand final as well for the Dragons. Lost, unfortunately.
Yes.
What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, that was crazy. Another, lost in the grand final to the Roosters. I remember that very clearly. I remember being very young again, but very devastated. And I remember that carrying on that same feeling through to every game still. And sort of feels the same sort of feeling as what we got last year in the grand final against the Roosters again. But yeah, it just puts more fire in my belly, I guess.
For sure.
Yeah.
How did you end up as a edge back rower?
Growing up, I loved being in the middle and wanted to be a bit of a lock. I loved tackling and getting into the game. And then I remember learning off Kezi at Dragons actually. And sort of just got put on the edge, which I love.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've represented Fiji. Can you tell us about your origins with Fiji and the family history there, or how did you end up playing for Fiji?
So my grandma is from Taveuni and Savile in Fiji. Okay. Mum was actually born in New Zealand because my mum's dad is from New Zealand. He's Kiwi. And then, she grew up in Fiji. So I'm lucky to have that in me. And, very lucky enough to have played for Fiji and captained.
How was that?
It was amazing. Very special experience, and especially to captain them too last year. And win the game in Fiji was something I'll never forget. Amazing experience.
Awesome. On the season last year, there was so much hope, went so close, obviously, in the end. Is there anything you would do different? Is there any regrets aside from, obviously, the end result? But is there anything that you can pinpoint as to, even the start of the grand final? Like, was it just a slow start? Like, was there anything in the prep? Without opening too many old wounds, I'm just quite fascinated.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Towards the end of our season, we had the 6 in a row winning streak, which started our season off really well. And then as we got to finals, we actually had a really good semi-final, and then grand final. We just started slow, I think, and then the second half came back, but probably just to start that first half a bit harder. Yeah. What
did the coach say to you after that?
In the change rooms was I remember that very clearly. It was just pretty much coach and our captain just, no, you're right.
Bit of Nirvana.
Just a very, he didn't really even have to say much. I think we all knew what we had done, but what he said was just everyone knew what we had to be, what had to be done for second half.
The fans were so proud though.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where, you lose such an important game as a fan, but you see the effort in the second half is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I'm sure 2 minutes more, you win the game. No, it wasn't meant to be. This year, it's a new year. What can you tell us about 2025, is the team going to play the same way? Is it we in for a few changes, surprises?
We've got a few new faces. So, yeah, we've got a few changes to the team, which is really exciting. Yeah, not going to give away too much, but yeah, I guess you'll see it Thursday night. We've got, a few debutants, which will be exciting to see.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a bit of a different feel in our team, but it's still got the same Sharks footy. Yeah.
What can you tell us about the coach as a person, as a coach? What's he like?
Yeah, Tony's amazing. He really has relationships with all of us girls on different levels, and it's really amazing to see how he handles all of us girls. I don't know how he does it, but Tony's amazing. He's really good.
A couple of questions before we let you go. I think you've already heard them from sitting around here. Did you watch the 2016 grand final at the time as a young Talei Holmes?
I would have been very young back then, but I remember watching it at a friend's house.
Well, sorry, let me interrupt. Did you grow up a Dragons fan?
I watched. Mum grew up like following more the Dragons, but we watched Sharks too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Representing the club now for the last few years, does that have any impact on you at all? Because I know it's a separate competition.
Yeah.
They're the men, you're the women. I get all that. But does that have any meaning to you, the 2016 grand final now? Because the community waited so long for it.
Yeah.
Or is it just another achievement?
I know it was a huge thing for our community.
Yeah.
And it was massive. And you hear people still talking about that game.
I talk about it all the time.
Today.
I probably shouldn't even have raised it. I just like talking about 2016 with anyone, the bus driver, anyone. I want to ask you about music before I let you go. You got to go to training. Music, what's your jam? What's your vibe? Artist, genre, I don't care. What do you like?
I love a bit of country too.
Yeah?
Yeah, Luke Combs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you mention another artist aside from Luke Combs that you like or listen to? It's okay if you can't. I'm just wondering. Are you more modern country?
I like a bit of Justin Bieber, a bit of everything, bit of sing along. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there music in the dressing room before you go out or leading up to it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to say what it is. I'm just wondering if you guys.
A lot of pump. Yeah, there is.
Stuff.
There's a lot of pump up music, and there's a lot of country thrown in there too nowadays.
Nice.
Yeah.
The men's team have the same answer every time.
Really?
Too, except Fanua Blake had reggae. He said he likes reggae.
Oh, okay.
That was my reaction. Yeah. But the Sharks pretty much officially love country music.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Good luck on Thursday. I'm sure you'll do great. And SharkCast Pod, say goodbye to Talei Holmes. That was Talei Holmes, talented back rower for the mighty Cronulla Sharks NRLW team. So part of getting to know the NRLW team is getting to know the people behind the team as well, and that starts with the head coach, Tony Herman. Tony was great to chat to, as you'll hear, and it was my first time meeting him. He's a bit of a club legend around the Sharks, and he's got a long history, which he'll talk about in the interview. There was some confusion, as you'll hear, about whether he was the same Tony Herman that played for the Knights in the 90s, but he confirmed, as a spoiler, that he wasn't. So a bit of confusion there from myself, from various parts of the media. We'll have to clear that one up. However, I can tell you that he is our first ever NRLW coach. He's been on the scene in the system at the Sharks for a long time. So huge respect to him. And yeah, it's just a way of us at SharkCast Pod allowing our listeners and all of the listeners now tuning in through the Sharks channels to get to know this great NRLW team. Here is the head honcho, Tony Herman.
Hanaway, what a pass! Staples, that might seal it!
Tony Herman, welcome to SharkCast Pod. Thank you so much for your time. We're on the almost eve of NRLW season kicking off 2025. We want to get to know you a little bit better. Now, you're not the Tony Herman that played for the Newcastle Knights in 1995, and before that, you're a different Tony Herman. Tell me about you. Did you grow up playing the game?
Yeah. Grew up around the game. I played under 21s here many years ago.
Okay.
So
you've been in the Shark system for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, played down here. I think I played 18s as well and 21s, as I said. And
what position?
Played in the halves. And since then, I've been coaching down here, I don't know, 20 years or something like that, I think.
So tell us a bit about that. You've been in the lower system with coaching. We're talking juniors.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, coached in the male system for a while there, with SG Ball and Jersey Flag and around that space. Ended up coaching reserve grade. Won a comp here in reserve grade in, I'm going to say 2013.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we won a comp there, so very, very fortunate to do that.
Yep.
Did some New South Wales State of Origin under-16s teams. Assistant coach was Junior Kangaroos. Did some stuff around there. Then took a couple of years off, and was lucky enough to be invited to come back into the women's space, and probably an amazing decision, and I've enjoyed it ever since.
So what's it been like? I mean, as the inaugural NRLW Sharks coach, what's that mean to you, and how's the experience been so far?
Yeah, very, very special. Yeah. I'm humbled every day I walk in here, to be honest with you. I love this club. I love what it's about. The tradition here, and growing up here, I did live in around Glebe till I was about 15, but I've been in the Shire ever since. So yeah, this place has been very special to me over a long period of time. So yeah, to be able to coach, the inaugural NRLW team, and and then make the grand final last year, I feel very, very special here.
Tell us about what it's like managing, I guess, 25, 30 young women. The space is so new at the professional level or semi-professional level. What's that like for you? Is it, I guess, always interesting moments, and is it challenging?
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yep.
As a coaching staff, we work really hard on how we deliver our message, to the girls. And I think that's probably taken a couple of years. I think we're getting better and better at it. We're really lucky. We've got a great group of girls, really well connected. They work really hard for this club, the program, the space. Yep. For us as a group, it's different to the male space. The girls probably ask why, and you need to explain it a little bit more, which I like. It challenges you to truly understand what you are coaching. There's some times you probably look back at things and maybe, I've glossed over it over the years and stuff. And whereas when they ask you why and challenge you, I actually really like it. So, it's a really good space to be in.
So first year, pretty good year. I think the fan base had higher expectations given we waited so long, number of injuries in key positions. But last year was pretty special. I've asked Talei and Ellie about the season and how it started with the great streak. And then we finished up, I think it was 4 from 5 losses to finish. Great win up north to make the grand final. How do you see the season last year? Things that you've learned from that moving forward this year? Because it was a pretty epic roller coaster.
Yeah, definitely. We won 6 straight, and at that stage, that was a record.
Yep.
No one had won 6 straight.
Yep.
Well, you always know that there's some games there that you're probably not going to get the results you want. But I felt that we showed our footy still. There was a game up there against the Broncos, and they beat us right on full time there. But I thought we played some really good footy. Those sort of things for us, it's about being, leveling for us. You can have your highs and lows, but we still need to present our footy. And I thought we did, even though we lost those couple of games, we still presented our footy. And so when we went up to the semi-final there, we're in a good space. The girls were very, very positive. They knew what they needed to do, and they're a really good side, and they actually broke our record by winning 7 in a row, and then we beat them to go through the grand final. So yeah, really, really good year, special group of people. Looking forward to this year.
So don't want to dwell on it, but tell us about the big game last year. I mean, again, talk about a roller coaster. A couple more minutes, we win that game, I think, in my opinion only. What was your halftime delivery like?
Yeah, look, I think we were still in a good space. Well, I think a few things went against us, and a few moments there that, we probably could have handled a little bit better. But we put ourselves in a position a few times there to show that we had the game to beat them. And so we just needed to go back, and we felt that if we scored next, they're under pressure. Yep. We knew that we could come and we had points in us and everything, and we just needed to get back into our style of footy and then make them play our style of footy. And I thought we did that. And there were some moments in that second half where I thought we were going to win it. Yeah. We had some momentum, and, and they'd wrestle it back, and we'd wrestle it back. And, it was one of those games where, as you say, a couple more minutes, maybe we win it. I'd like to think we would. Yeah. But there were some moments, maybe, 10 to go in that last 10 that I thought we could have won it as well, not just right at the end. Yep. There were some things the girls were doing out there that were pretty amazing to come back from where they were, and it showed what a great group of people they are, that, no one panicked. At halftime, when I first walked into that room and I looked at the girls and I looked them in the eye and I said, we're good here, you could tell that no one was panicking, and they were ready to play that second half. So I thought we'd put ourselves in a position to win it.
And it puts you in a good space for this year because, obviously, you've been thrashed in the grand final. It's not a great feeling. To come out the other end at the second half, be so dominant, almost get there. Okay, didn't win. I understand that. But that must put you in a positive space to go, hey, if we get our act together a little bit more, look what we can do?
Yeah, definitely. But for this year, for us, it's about, a whole program. It's not just about the premiership or going one better or anything. We need to go to another level in our whole program. Our connectivity, understanding our game model, our culture. We need to progress those, and then the results will flow off the back of that. But we're certainly not getting lost in thinking we have to get one better or we have to get the premiership or anything. The rest will just flow off the back of that, I think.
I could talk to you all day, Tony, about rugby league. You got to go train, though.
Yep.
A couple of questions before we go. 2016, tell us what that grand final meant to you.
Oh, yeah, that was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm very good friends with the coaching staff from then and still a lot of the players and everything. And to see them, achieve something like that for the Shire, it was amazing. Yeah, it was truly amazing.
And last question we ask everyone on this podcast, tell us about music. What music do you like?
I'm sure the girls would say my music taste isn't great. When I do get a chance to get to the speaker with the girls in the gym there is always a bit of Imagine Dragons put on.
Oh, wow. Okay. Didn't see you going there.
Fair enough.
All-time favourite artist?
Probably Rob Thomas.
Rob Thomas, a Matchbox 20 guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Tony, it's been great to get to know you. We'll hopefully talk to you throughout the year. And all of our listeners and viewers appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Cheers.
It is now that amazing time for me where I get to read out the first team list of the season for the NRLW team. At fullback, Emma Veron. Your wingers are Cassie Staples and Georgia Ravix. Your centre pairing, the amazing pairing of Tiana Penatani and Anessa Biddle. Halves, Georgia Hanaway and Shante Kiraratu. Starting props are Ellie Johnston and Jacinta Carter, with the very talented Quincy Dodd at hooker. Our back row, and I love this back row, Talei Holmes, Rhiannon Byers and Brooke Anderson. The immediate bench is Nakia Davis-Walsh, Jadika Tafua, Manalita Takapotolo and Philomena Hanizi. The extended bench is Lecky Leilua, Grace Lee Weeks, Dominique Dutoit and Tamea Kelly Signs. So that is your starting team and the extended bench to play the Eels Thursday night at Sharks Stadium, 7:45 kickoff. It's going to be wonderful. Make sure you are down there. If you're not down there, make sure you are watching. We can tell you that Jada Taylor is in the final stages of her recovery. Tyler King has a calf strain and Caitlin Johnson-Green is currently unavailable, as we already mentioned. So that's a very strong team to play the Parramatta Eels on Thursday. That spine of Emma Veron, Georgia Hanaway, and Shante Kiraratu. Don't leave out Quincy Dodd, of course. I love that back row. Love it. Holmes, Byer, Anderson. But talented all over the park. Centre pairing of Penatani and Biddle. Get out of here. That's unbelievable. Very strong all over the park. Not too dissimilar from last year as well, so I love the fact that we get to sort of roll on again into this year after such a successful season last year. Although there are some changes there are some people still missing. We can't wait for, of course, Jada Taylor to make her return. That is your NRLW Sharks team. We've got an eye on the future, and we want to thank the Cronulla Sharks for getting us involved through their channels and platforms, and you'll be hearing more from us. If you don't follow SharkCast Pod already, please do on whatever podcast app you listen to. You can also follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're on the X. We're on TikTok. A few other ones, but they're all the main platforms we're on. If you can give us a like, subscribe, follow, we would really appreciate it. And you'll get the latest episodes as soon as they appear. This has been the NRLW show, SharkCast Pod. For those who don't know, we do regular episodes throughout the week covering pre-game, post-game live streams, interviews, analysis, flagship shows. If you love the Cronulla Sharks and you're not following SharkCast Pod, please do so. We promise you a ton of good content. Deep analysis on the games, the structures, the players, history, future, opinions. But it's content available and open and suitable for all ages and all demographics. SharkCast Pod, Sam Shinazzi OG, signing off. Up Cronulla. Let's go get those Eels on Thursday night. Let's go.
Sharkies!